I hate my life. Okay, never mind. Let's just get right into this. Raw was last night. My eyes hurt, even though I have a week off. So I'm just going to make this as painless as possible. Raw was. Let's just go through it. It had Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon address that anything could happen. It's a superstar shakeup. Any SmackDown and Raw wrestler would go anywhere. Even they didn't address 205 Live. Even though these guys, it's possible for these guys to make weight and make light heavyweight division and just go off to SmackDown or Raw. So they brung Cedric Alexander because Raw. It's the only thing I'm going to address because then I'm going to forget about it in the middle of the show. So The Miz is on Raw and attacks Shane McMahon because they had a feud that's not going to continue because Shane McMahon runs SmackDown. So I don't know if this is under his control that Miz would come to Raw. So this was big. His t-shirt was ugly as shit. It was literally an emoji. So all we had was a beat up segment that just came off to Shane McMahon running off. I mean, it was alright earlier into the show that Shane McMahon now is a heel and Miz is a babyface. And then off this stupid ass feud that had Miz shown to be the underdog, even though he's one of the most decorated wrestlers in the business, that still remain consistent to this day. So it was alright just seeing another beat up segment to open the show and show the unpredictability of Miz just beating shit out of Shane. But should have been better. So next up in the entire show was an 8-man tag immediately after the beat up. We don't even have a backstage segment making sure these guys conflict. They called the War Raiders the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Viking Experience, and that shit bleeded around on Twitter because my brother was playing with it, so we got to read a few comments. These niggas go fast. So, Raw. I'm going to call these guys the War Raiders, even though I don't think they're picked up yet. They're tag team champions on the NXT still. And they tagged with the Revival in an 8-man tag against Aleister Black and Ricochet. I don't know why you're still keeping... People were right that Aleister Black and Ricochet should be on separate brands because they're obviously different personas that don't mesh together and obviously have different personalities the way they're looking. And you have Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. That's only notable for their hot tags. And even in before the match, these guys are treated like jobbers. Like everybody had their entrance. The War Raiders had their entrance. The Revival, Aleister Black and Ricochet. They cut off the Raw Tag Team Champions freaking entrance. We have so much respect for these guys. It should be written. It should be written. Because over my time watching the entire show, not only the goddamn Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins wanted on kickoff, they were an afterthought on the post-Mania Raw that they just had a rematch and just won off another stupid-ass finish. And now you have them get pinned by the Viking Experience, and I know they're not going to make another appearance because they're NXT Tag Champions, and no one cares. No one cares about this 8-man tag. They had so many multiple man tag matches that it's stupid. They had a 12-man tag. I don't think WWE cares. They have 16-man tag. What does this do to distribute talent? Not making a storyline. Not making a consistent feud. Not making these characters interesting and conflict with other interesting personas to actually have a cool feud that NXT does. And save that crap for TakeOver. For something to conclude. It's stupid. They don't even conclude on Raw. They just continue to have incomplete feuds. And they have such a crappy tag division, they keep dragging out NXT guys. And now Ricochet and Aleister Black are on Raw. Even though they've been the most consistent tag team. And they were on NXT as well. I'm completely concerned about WWE's entire decision. Why they would do this. And why name a team that you know that's not going to be in the main roster for long? Viking Experience. That just sounds like a jobber team. Next up was Finn Balor versus Andrade. Cien Almas, I don't care. His long name sounds cool. And he's picked up from the Superstar Shakeup from SmackDown. What Andrade did on the main roster wasn't much. All he did was attend the Battle Royale, was in a few U.S. title matches, but they were multi-man, and was on an ongoing feud this year with Rey Mysterio that didn't have a conclusion. You see why I'm a bit upset? Well, thanks that they don't have that many concurring feuds. Rey Mysterio is also on Raw, so I don't know what they're going to do with him. It was an alright match. They talked about most of what Zelina Vega is utilizing to her advantage, that she's a female and Finn Balor's obviously not going to let his morals, going to utilize his morals and not hurt the woman she gives to Hurricane Rana. And ends it with that with pump handle DDT to get the finish. It was a decent match. For me, I hope that he just defends the Intercontinental title. So, big win for Andrade, pinning the Intercontinental Champion. I didn't know what they're going to do before this, because last time it was Sami Zayn, he didn't even ask for a rematch for the Intercontinental title. They just got a Moment of Bliss segment with him, so that was completely pointless of an event, just to show that Sami Zayn's a heel! Yay! I guess. It was really cool. Rey Mysterio came up as well in the Elias segment, and he already said that this might be his last time on Raw. That it should be. I really wouldn't mind seeing him on SmackDown. Rey Mysterio came and interrupted him with the botchiest. There was a lot of botches on Raw. I tell you, there was a fuck up on a clothesline out the ring, and there was a fuck up on Rey Mysterio trying to hit his Hurricane Rana, and all he did was get most of his body sloppily. Then he missed his cue on a 619 spot when he was trying to get Elias out the damn ring. Like, he came super late. Elias was already several feet from the goddamn ring, and he already immediately hit the the 619. Was that supposed to be a warning shot? Whatever, I don't know if they're gonna get in the program. Thanks to Superstar Shake-up. Instead of just the the WWE draft, I'm sorry. The NFL draft is coming up soon, so obviously I'm a bit more excited on that than the Superstar fucking Shake-up. Then Laura Sullivan came and beat the ever-living shit out of goddamn Rey Mysterio. Next up was the Usos versus Chad Gable and Bobby Roode over Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Just warning. Everybody knew it was the Usos. Like, everybody knew who was going to come up to be the who was going to be the new partner from SmackDown. Because he wasn't doing much on SmackDown, except that little no one cared about dream match he had at WrestleMania. So it was the Usos that had a pretty decent showcase against Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. If you're a newcomer to see WWE, please leave. Please leave. I'm warning you. This is not what you should have signed up for. If you can watch a few highlights, sure. I mean, the product will already be ruined, and you would be doing a service. Watching the full show is like watching somebody with cancer. You know it's killing them in the insides rapidly. And that went way too dark, and I apologize. But still, this was an alright showcase. We already know the Usos. Super kick. Bit of leap outside. They don't do punches. Big double super kick, then a double splash down the middle over to Chad Gable for the pinfall. What are they gonna do with Bobby Roode? Did Chad Gable and Bobby Roode never won a tag team match in months? So obviously there might be a breakup, but they didn't do one. So the Usos are on Raw because they're pretty much the best decorated tag team next to the New Day. And they can't do the New Day thanks Kofi Kingston's the WWE champion. So that needs to stay a thing. I don't know why backstage when they're talking about their guys' partner, they think Seth Rollins is gonna go, Their belt is specifically red. I think the Universal title is gonna stay on Raw unless they change the fucking design and the fucking strap color back to black or white. Something that doesn't symbolize that, oh, it's the Universal title. It's red. That means it stays on Raw. The World Heavyweight title, even the fucking spinner belt, felt like, oh, I can put it to either SmackDown, Raw, hell, maybe ECW. No, they're not going to do that. So, pretty decent debut on Raw for the Usos. Next up was Sami Zayn's Moment of Bliss appearance, where it was like, he got so over with the crowd. He even did it twice, where he was just dancing around like a fucking retard. Then, announces goddamn Montreal and just says that the people suck because he's heel. Sami Zayn hates his hometown people. Yay, he's a heel. You know what sucks about a heel? That fans just hate him when. You know what's good about a heel? When even hardcore fans hate him. You know what's good about it? You know what's bad about a heel? If people support him being a heel. That's the same thing with Becky Lynch and why she's corny. To me, she's not a good heel. She's not a relatable heel. She's not interesting as a heel. She's irritating as a babyface, and you'll see later tonight. Later today, how I think that way. Because I'm actually gonna do double duty tonight. Because after this, I gotta do SmackDown, and then I have to create my own show involving sports, so I don't have to continue doing several uploads. Because if you are not subscribed, you should know I have over 70 videos of this crap, and I'm gonna keep this a bit more linear and have more time to talk. Sami Zayn just came up to the show. I didn't know if Alexa Bliss was heel or face. She just said, "How rude!" And I don't know if she was talking about the crowd when he was just insulting them, or just saying, or Sami Zayn just saying that he didn't want to be in the show. Pretty much, this didn't have him getting his ass whipped, and he just said, "I wish all y'all went to hell." So the point of that segment was just to show that, ooh, Sami Zayn's a heel, and he hates the people. Why does everything has to inquire the people? All because you're a heel. I don't understand. But still, whatever. Next up was the Iconics that were tagging up against Bayley and surprise tag team partner from SmackDown, Naomi, after Sasha Banks was out over. I don't know if they're really counting this as a shoot now. I mean, or putting the shoot as a work because fucking Sasha Banks really has some issues or creative issues with the WWE after losing the tag belts to the Iconics on that fatal four-way tag team title match back at WrestleMania. That was a long thing to say because my head hurts. So, what would happen? The Iconics would come trying to muck around with Bayley and say crap like this, while Bayley just says that she'll have a tag partner tonight. It would obviously be Naomi. Thinks Naomi's an afterthought. I thought it'd be just Asuka or somebody more interesting. So, what would happen on the show? Well, it was alright. I don't know, Naomi should just change her fucking finisher. I just hate that rear view. She just came around doing her generic light ass moves. Clothesline, drop kick, Hurricane on Rana, a bit of an aerial move from the top. It's the same crap. It was a mediocre match. It was a split-legged moonsault coming from on Billy Kay after Bayley put out Peyton Royce. If Bayley with Naomi win because of baby faces, and this is coming out of Peyton Royce and Billy Kay pinning some goddamn jobbers with just kick to the face. So this really doesn't put Iconics as really entertaining or at least cheating to win. But because Naomi's first time on Raw in the Superstar Shakeup. Then EC3 came because he said he wanted to be more than just a background guy. I think most of the time you guys have been seeing him, he's either in multi-man matches, a lumberjack, or at least on main event. I'm not talking about the main event, the show main event. Because now that's a D show. And now he gets matched up with not a jobber to at least showcase his talents. Because at least TNA made him undefeated. He made him a threat. He was a big figure in the show because he's related to Dixie Carter. That's literally why he got EC3, Ethan Carter III. But I don't know why you couldn't just give him his NXT name if fans don't watch Impact Wrestling. I understand EC3 is a big name in the independent scale, but this is the same faggots that would replace Tommy N, that sounds like a cool-ass name, to Aleister Black. But keep Ricochet. But whatever. Whatever. This is the same people that would change War Raiders into the Viking Experience. See what I'm getting with this, if you understand. WWE is stupid. And I hope McMahon understands that this is not going to get the guys that you signed over or profitable in any way, shape, or form. Because the biggest show coming next is SummerSlam. And if you can't establish any more guys to feud with Braun Strowman or Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Lashley, maybe he might go to SmackDown. Something bad's gonna happen, and most guys are gonna come up less than what was your appearance on fucking Fastlane. That's how much I'm concerned. And just jobbing out EC3, and that wasn't even a registered match. And just to show that EC3 might be kicked off television after Braun Strowman's just random attack. Just like what happened to Dean Ambrose when he faced Bobby Lashley the previous week. Were we supposed to give a fuck? Just completely pointless segment to just show how worthless EC3 has been after him being a bit of a superstar on NXT. So what the fuck are you doing with these guys? Guess who else were your NXT champions? And EC3 wasn't, and he still was popular. God. McIntyre's your NXT champion, and he ain't doing shit. Next up was Becky Lynch's little address. After the attack was Becky Lynch scheduled to face off against Ruby Riott and just beat her with the disarm. She came with a moonsault. God damn, I did not care. Because Ruby Riott continues to get jobbed out. She was an afterthought when she was facing off against Ronda Rousey twice. She lost to Natalya a few times. She loses to fucking everybody, and you suspect me to care about the Riot Squad when they haven't been in a compelling feud since last December? I'm being really serious. Am I supposed to care? Tell me. Tell me. Just tell me, and I'll be okay. It just came off with her just ending her with the disarmer. I'm still concerned where the hell is Nikki Cross and where's Heavy Machinery. They might go off to SmackDown. Tag division is trash. And every tag division is trash. Just really terrible. And now you had Natalya come up and just congratulate Becky Lynch. And then Lacey Evans came out for then impromptu match, and whoever wins gets to face off against Becky Lynch on the next pay-per-view for the Raw Women's Championship, not the undisputed Raw, not the WWE Undisputed Championship. That kind of makes you responsible for two brands and kind of makes you the biggest woman champion in the damn company. I'm unsuspectful. Why in the fuck Lacey Evans wants only the Raw Women's title? I get it because Becky Lynch is on SmackDown. She's not registered on Raw, well, because she won the SmackDown Women's title. She won the Royal Rumble, so I can understand why. And she doesn't become less of a factor because she would be responsible for only one brand if she won. I don't care. It was literally retarded. It was a decent match. Nobody cared about for Ruby Riott. It looked like watching the match, she barely got much, offense in. And the Riot Squad barely do nothing. They don't even give weapons. Why are you called the Riot Squad if you don't cause, a fucking riot? Sarah Logan looks like a dyke, and goddamn, Sarah Logan looks like a dyke, and Liv Morgan looks like a fucking ethot. I don't know. Next up, they had Lacey Evans versus goddamn Natalia in an impromptu match. And we know Lacey Evans can barely wrestle. She just shows a bit of athleticism and just wins with the women's right. While goddamn Becky Lynch no-sold that in her first attempt at actually assaulting her. So that was retarded. To show how strong she really is, and I don't care. Next up with the 6-man tag main event. Involving goddamn AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin, Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. So McIntyre would come to SmackDown previous week on Raw. Previous week. And then just come in a 6-man tag. Why do these guys just all come together for? You know, show them in the locker room or something where it's possible to see them together, not outside in the alley. Match was alright. It was just to showcase AJ Styles on Raw. I don't care. I don't. The match was alright in some cases. It was just hot tag, Superman punch. Drew McIntyre is supposed to show that he's strong. Lashley already lost the Intercontinental title twice, so I can care less. That I know he's just going to get beaten the shit out of by some midgets. The same thing happened when he just loses to Finn Balor twice on pay-per-view. Then he just gets pinned by AJ Styles off the flying forearm smash from the... Oh my god. It's cool to see AJ Styles. Don't get me wrong. It's cool. Everybody... But I saw this coming. Because he has nothing else to accomplish on SmackDown. He's already like a US champion and a multi-time WWE champion. Beating everybody is like child abuse for AJ Styles now. So there's nothing for him to accomplish. So obviously, he would be the top guy to leave SmackDown. So what's going to happen on SmackDown Live, I don't know. And I hope it's more unpredictable than what the hell we got on Raw. This gets a 5. It at least kept my attention. It was alright of a show. Rey Mysterio's return to Raw was a botch. Lars Sullivan, I don't know if he's going to be on Raw or not. Even though he appeared also on SmackDown. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be a teaser because of the Superstar Shakeup. They don't do that previous years when we had the WWE Draft. And I don't know why they gotten rid of it just to make WWE look unpredictable. It's fucking retarded. And I hope WWE does a better chance of whatever the fuck they got. Because Miz is just coming out with no problem at all, except he just got to beat the shit out of Shane McMahon for the last time, even though he was feuding and beating shit out of his father. No concern, AJ Styles was in a feud with Randy Orton. Luckily, he's not injured, so that's a positive for AJ Styles. I don't know why Lacey Evans only wants to win the Raw Women's Championship when she can literally hold 2 belts that gives her all the power. Seriously, this show should have been way better. Gets a 5, I guess. It was just mediocre. They could have done so much with something so compelling as to let these guys switch brands. Or just cancel the brand split. That's literally it. The tag team division still sucks. The mid card is still getting crappy. EC3 is getting jobbed out, and this is a former Impact Wrestling champion. Sure, Impact is shit. Don't get me wrong, it's shit. But when it comes to WWE, at least they treat the guys that they thought had no potential. And they treat these guys like they're big potential, thanks to give them matches to wrestle. And this is the same guy who beat Kurt Angle twice. So I was suspecting a little bit better. So, thanks for watching. SmackDown's coming soon. Have fun tonight. Hope you guys like and subscribe. Have a nice day.